Today, we're talking about the hidden harm caused by narcissistic abuse. We'll be exploring this tricky subject and highlighting the big effects this kind of hurt can have. It's really important to know these signs, as it helps you to start healing and get your strength back. So let's take this important step together, and remember, you're not alone. Here are 5 signs you have post-narcissistic abuse stress disorders. Sign number 1. The paradox of cognitive dissonance and trauma bonding. This is a complex emotional state where you feel trapped between your love for the narcissist and the pain they inflict upon you. It's like being stuck in a maze where every turn leads to another dead end, another layer of confusion and self-doubt. Let's break it down. Trauma bonding is a powerful emotional connection that forms between the victim and abuser in a dysfunctional relationship. It's a bond that feels unbreakable, as strong as Hercules himself. It's like an addiction where you know you should leave, but you feel like you can't live without them. So you find yourself returning to the narcissist over and over again, despite the pain they cause. Now, cognitive dissonance is the mental discomfort you experience when holding 2 contradictory beliefs. Picture a tug of war in your mind. On one side, you're fully aware of the narcissist's monstrous side, the side that terrifies you, but on the other side, there's a voice whispering, maybe they're not that bad. This voice clings to the good memories, the moments where the narcissist seemed kind and caring. The struggle between these 2 sides creates a mental divide, a splitting within that can be incredibly damaging and confusing. This paradox of cognitive dissonance and trauma bonding creates a vicious cycle. You're torn between wanting to escape and feeling compelled to stay. It's an emotional roller coaster that leaves you feeling drained and disoriented. But don't despair. Understanding this paradox is the first step towards breaking free. It's about acknowledging the reality of your situation and recognizing the strength of the bond you've formed with the narcissist. It's about understanding the internal conflict caused by cognitive dissonance and finding ways to reconcile these conflicting feelings. Remember, acknowledging this paradox is the first step towards healing. It's not an easy journey, but understanding these dynamics can help you reclaim your power, your sense of self, and your freedom from the narcissist's grip. Moving on to sign number 2, an eroded trust in others and in oneself. Let's delve into the aftermath of narcissistic abuse, where the damage is often a deep-seated skepticism, a pervasive lack of trust. This isn't just about doubting others, it's also about doubting yourself, your intuition, your decisions. You see, a narcissist has a knack for dismantling your sense of self, creating a chasm between you and your inner voice. Imagine a landscape, once fertile with confidence, now barren, scarred by the relentless erosion of trust. That's the terrain many survivors of narcissistic abuse find themselves traversing. The narcissist plants seeds of doubt, waters them with manipulation, and harvests a crop of uncertainty. They convince you that your thoughts aren't valid, your emotions aren't real, your beliefs are misguided. But why? Why would someone do this? Control. By undermining your trust in yourself, they gain power. By making you question your reality, they assert dominance. It's a cruel game of mental chess where the narcissist always aims for checkmate. And it's not just self-trust that's affected. The narcissist's actions can also lead you to question the intentions of others. You may find yourself second-guessing people's motives, scrutinizing their words, anticipating betrayal. This isn't paranoia. It's a protective shield forged in the fires of past deception. But here's the thing. This lack of trust, while understandable, can become a prison. It can isolate you, not just from others, but from yourself. It can keep you tethered to the past, unable to move forward. But breaking free is possible. It takes time, patience, and often professional help, but you can reclaim your trust. It starts with believing in yourself again, reconnecting with your intuition, validating your emotions. It involves setting boundaries, standing your ground, asserting your worth. And gradually, as you nurture self-trust, you'll find it easier to trust others. You'll learn to discern between genuine intentions and manipulative tactics. You'll discover that trust, once lost, can be rebuilt. The road to rebuilding trust is long, but remember, you're not alone. Let's talk about sign number 3, the physical manifestations of mental pain. When you're caught in the tumultuous storm of a narcissist's manipulation, your body can become a barometer for the psychological distress you're experiencing. Often, the mind and body are seen as separate entities, but they are deeply interconnected. When your mind is in a state of chronic stress, your body can respond with physical symptoms. This is the body's way of signaling that something is not right. It's like a silent alarm system, alerting you to the fact that your emotional well-being is under siege. When you're dealing with narcissistic abuse, you may find yourself plagued with a host of psychosomatic issues. You may have gut issues like irritable bowel syndrome or inflammatory bowel disease. You might develop allergies that you never had before. These are not random, isolated health problems. They're directly linked to the emotional trauma you're enduring. The body and mind communicate with each other in a language of their own. When the mind is in pain, the body echoes that pain. It's as if your body is crying out, trying to make you aware of the emotional trauma you're experiencing. It's crucial to remember that these physical symptoms are not your fault. They're a response to the emotional distress caused by the narcissist's manipulation. It's your body's way of telling you that you're in pain, that you need to step back, take care of yourself, and seek help if necessary. Ignoring these symptoms won't make them go away. Instead, it's important to acknowledge them, to listen to what your body is trying to tell you. It's not just about treating the symptoms, it's about addressing the root cause, the emotional trauma inflicted by the narcissist. Remember, your body is not your enemy. It's a part of you and it's trying to protect you. It's speaking a language of distress, a language that's often overlooked in our busy, everyday lives. But by paying attention to these signals, you can start the journey towards healing. Your body speaks your mind. Listen to it. Sign number 4, self-imposed isolation. It's a silent and often misunderstood sign of post-narcissistic abuse stress disorder. Isolation isn't just about physically distancing oneself from others. It's about an internal disconnection, a chasm that forms within the self, a divide that grows wider each day. In the aftermath of narcissistic abuse, victims find themselves in a state of isolation that goes beyond the physical. It's a mental and emotional isolation, a feeling of being alone even in the midst of a crowd. It's a feeling of being disconnected from the world, from others, and most painfully, from oneself. The narcissist, with their manipulative tactics and insidious emotional abuse, has a way of disconnecting their victims from their own emotions, their own thoughts, their own joy. As a result, the victims retreat, not just from the world, but also from their own selves. They find solace in solitude, in the quiet corners of their minds where the world can't reach them, where the narcissist can't reach them. But the isolation is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it provides a safe haven, a refuge from the outside world and its triggers. On the other hand, it deepens the divide within the self, creating a chasm that becomes increasingly difficult to bridge. Groups and crowds become triggers, reminders of the narcissist's manipulative tactics. Even loved ones become sources of anxiety, as the victims find themselves unable to reconnect with their emotions, unable to trust again, unable to break free from the isolation that has become their safety net. But it's important to remember that this isolation is not a life sentence. It's a silent cry for help, a plea for understanding, for empathy, for connection. It's a call to reach out, to bridge the divide, to reconnect with the world, with others, and, most importantly, with oneself. We all have the capacity to listen, to empathize, to reach out. So if you know someone who is isolating themselves, reach out to them. Let them know they are not alone, that they are seen, that they are heard. Remember, isolation is a silent cry for help. Reach out, there's always someone willing to listen. And finally, sign number 5, the relentless cycle of rumination. Rumination, a word that sounds as tiresome as the action itself, is essentially the constant replaying of past events in your mind. It's like a broken record stuck on that one painful track, playing over and over again. Victims of narcissistic abuse often find themselves trapped in this cycle. They question their actions, their words, their decisions. How did that happen? Why did I allow that to happen? How could I be that naive? These questions haunt them, prying open the wounds of past traumas. But it's not just their own behavior they scrutinize. They also obsess over the actions of the narcissist. Why did they treat me that way? How could they be so cruel? Were they always this manipulative? This relentless introspection is a manifestation of the freeze response, a psychological reaction to trauma. It's as if the mind is stuck, frozen in time, unable to move past the traumatic event. The truth is, rumination is a thief. It steals away your present moment, your peace of mind, and your ability to heal. But remember, you are not alone. Many have walked this path before you and found their way out of the labyrinth. Breaking free from this cycle can be challenging, but it's a vital step towards reclaiming your mental peace. That's all for today. If you enjoyed the video, give thumbs up. For more videos like this, hit subscribe button.